Megan Hicks of I Run Far. I'm with Hayden Hawks. It's a couple days before the 2023 Western States Endurance Run. Good morning, Hayden. How are you?
Doing well. Just got back from a run. Went up to high camp and just testing out the snow, seeing what it's like. Excited to race.
This is now your third time at this race. Just as a quick recap, you came here for the first time in 2021, got yourself inside the top 10 with an 8th place finish. Came back last year and improved by a huge amount. Second place, I think it was around 2 hours faster. Is that right?
Yeah, I think around 2 hours faster. Definitely an improvement from the year before. So.
I think the year before it was last year was hotter, but you experienced like a heat stress type thing a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, I think it was more of like a nutrition and hydration thing. Yeah, mixed with the heat, of course, because the hotter it is, and if you're dehydrated, you're not hydrating properly. Of course, the heat's going to affect you more, and so I think like that was probably more of what it was, dealing with some nutrition problems, and yeah, I hope I've got that dialed in now. Yeah. So,
well, I have to ask, a person who takes second at a race and who has a finish time that has a 15 in it, like those are like really strong things for Western States. So there are reasons, very specific reasons, a person like you would come back after a finish like that. Why are you here again?
Well, I want to win this race. Yeah. That's been the goal since the start. I want to win every race that I enter. And I just felt like I hadn't really nailed it. Like I made so many mistakes the first year and the second year. And this year, I feel like I've really focused a lot on getting better and not making those mistakes. And I feel like I've really dialed in a lot of things that I need to do. Like I was really happy, running 15 hours, taking second place, but I wasn't content because I knew that I didn't run the race that I wanted to run. Like it wasn't a perfect race. Well, I'm never going to be a perfect race, but it wasn't even like a good race for me because there were so many mistakes that I made. And I feel like for me, it's always been about improving myself. Like I really don't 100% care. Like I do care, but I don't 100% care like the placing, like what I place or what my time is. It's more of like, do I feel good about that performance, like personally? Do I feel like I nailed things? Did I do what I could do, And I feel like I didn't. Okay. And so it's I want to
walk away with that feeling of like being drawn back for more.
Yeah, like I felt like I wanted to improve on all those mistakes that I made. And I really wanted to like nail it for myself and for the people around me because I have so many people in my corner, so many people supporting me. And I felt like I just didn't nail it like I wanted to. And I wanted to come back and improve.
So from the outside looking in, and I guess maybe comparing it to your prior year, it looked like a fairly clean run for you last year. But as you said, 100 miles is never a perfect race. What's an example of a thing that you really took away of like, when I'm coming back, I want to do this better this time?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, again, was my nutrition and my hydration. It was terrible last year.
Also last year?
Yeah.
Even though you ran so well.
It was an improvement on the year before, but I've never really been that good at nutrition and hydration. I thought I was, but then I started working with my coach, my new coach a couple of years ago, Robbie Britton, and I started getting some work with Precision Hydration, my new nutrition sponsor. Okay. And we just really started like breaking it down and being like, Hayden, like, what are you doing? And they were like, man, like, this is not good, like, nutrition. This is not good hydration. Like, we need to fix this. And so I worked a lot on that over the last year. Okay. Like, I was in the lab. I was doing a whole bunch of things to test things out. I've been training my gut. I've been using nutrition and hydration on, like, every long run and workout. And it's just so much better than it was in the past. And so I think that's been a big benefit for me, and I hope that it will help me in this race.
Cool. Let's talk about sort of your season lead up to this. You started off 2023 with a visit to New Zealand.
Yeah, I went down to New Zealand. My friend Dan Jones, he's also running Western States, he came out and visited me last year in Utah. We did some training together, and he invited me to come down. And I was like, hey, like, might as well get away from the winter. And it was a rough winter this year, so it was actually nice to be down there. and spend, a New Zealand summer. And so we had a great time down in Australia, New Zealand.
You stayed for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, we were down there for 3 months.
Okay.
Met a lot
Used
of
all
really
your
good people.
visa.
Yeah, well,
Let's do it. Some of it.
yeah, a month in Australia and 2 months in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And so it was just an amazing place, amazing people. I got the opportunity to run the Kosciuszko 100K and then the Tarawara 100K.
I forgot you ran in Australia too. Yeah.
Yeah, I ran a race in Australia in December. And then I ran the Tarawara race in February.
And the one in Australia, what was the distance on that one?
100 kilometer.
Oh, so both 200 Ks.
Yeah, I did 200 Ks in the space of like 8 weeks. So, which is fairly close, but they both went really well for me and I felt really strong. And we wanted to really try and nail some of those things that we were working on with the nutrition hydration. They were both, well, the Kosciuszko race was supposed to be hot, but it didn't end up being hot. It ended up being really cold.
Is the cool weather following you this year? Because we're here like wearing sweatshirts at Western States.
Yeah, I think so, but it's all right, right? I mean, I grew up in the desert. I grew up in St. George, so I do like the heat. But yeah, for some reason, it's just been cold all year.
Yeah,
so
yeah. And then a couple months ago, you played on the Western States vicinity trails down by the finish line in Auburn. You ran Canyons 100 or 50K, right? 50K, yeah.
Yeah, I ran the 50K down at Canyons just as a good tune-up, kind of just wanted to see where my fitness was. I think the 50K distance is a great distance to test just overall fitness, see how fit you are. It's not 100% applicable to the 100-mile distance because it's completely different, but I think it helps you nail that fitness and see where that's at, see what you can work on. And then you bring all those 100-mile aspects in, and then you can be like, okay, I'm ready to go. And so it was a big confidence builder. And honestly, like I witnessed that like my fitness is at an all-time high right now. I feel very confident about that. I feel confident about, all the other little aspects I've worked on. I mean, all I can do is go out there and execute on race day and hope that it works out.
See what happens. You came out for the Memorial Camp training weekend.
No,
oh, you didn't. Sorry.
No. Yeah.
Maybe it was, you were here for Canyons then.
Yeah, I went Canyons, and then I did actually my own training camp, me and Dan and Tom Evans. No, in the Grand Canyon.
Oh, okay.
So we did this week-long training camp in the Grand Canyon, ran with Tom Evans out there, Dan Jones. We had a great training camp. I was able to get some good heat training in the canyon, some long climbs, long descents. Canyon's, of course, a special place.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Cool. Last question for you. The men's race, so exciting. So many returning top 10s, and then all these different gentlemen who are really going to mix it up. Unique conditions this year too, like fairly cool weather. It'll still feel hot, but cool by Western States standards. A bit of messy miles. How do you see this going? Like between conditions and competition?
Yeah, it's hard to say, and I would actually say the women's race is more competitive and more exciting, personally.
Good answer.
Yeah, but no, I really believe that. But yeah, like I do think the men's race is going to be pretty exciting as well. There's a lot of really good competition. Of course, we lost some guys like Adam and stuff, which would have been great to race him again. I was really looking forward to that. But at the same time, like it's deep. I mean, Western States is really deep this year. It's exciting. I don't know. I really haven't been like looking at anybody's training or really caring about anybody else in the race. Like I know who's in the race, of course, and I know they're really, really good, but I've been so focused on just myself and what I need to do and what I need to, nail and accomplish on this race. And I think if I run the race that I believe that I can run on race day, like I'm going to be hard to beat. And I do believe that like all I can do is focus on that. Yeah. And if that's enough, then that's enough. If it's not, then good on the other guys. I mean, they had a great day, right? And so, yeah, I'm just really focused on that. I think the race itself, the course, it's going to be a challenge, but I love challenges. Like it'll be different than the last 2 years that I've ran, but I'm actually really looking forward to that because I think it's cool to like have this new experience, right? Like and to see what happens and yeah, I'm really looking forward to that last 20 miles because I think it's going to be fast and I think it's going to be exciting and I think we're going to put on a show and I'm really excited for that.
Cool. Best of luck to you on your third trip between Olympic Valley and Placer High School. It'll be fun to see the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, excited to be out there.